Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In 2024, the Federal Reserve's monetary policy not only shapes the US economy, but also sends ripples across the globe, affecting major economies like India and China. Today we're diving into how US interest rates and inflation control measures are impacting these two Asian giants. First, a quick intro. The Federal Reserve, or the Fed, is the central bank of the US, and its decisions are significant worldwide. Why? Because the US dollar is the world's primary reserve currency, and changes in US monetary policy can lead to global economic shifts. So, what's the Fed doing in 2024? They've kept interest rates at 5.25% to 5.5%, the highest in over 20 years, to tame inflation. While US inflation has cooled slightly, the Fed's staying cautious, maintaining tight monetary policies until mid-2024 to prevent inflation from flaring up again. This high-interest environment strengthens the US dollar, making it more attractive to investors and impacting global trade and emerging markets like India and China. Now, let's zoom in on India. The strong US dollar puts pressure on the Indian rupee, which depreciated against the dollar in 2024. A weaker rupee means higher import costs, especially for oil, which India heavily relies on. This widens India's current account deficit. Higher US interest rates also lead to capital outflows from India, as investors seek better returns in the US. This puts pressure on Indian equities and bonds, slowing down foreign direct investment growth. With rising import costs due to a weaker rupee, inflationary pressures could increase in India. The Reserve Bank of India might raise interest rates to counter this, impacting borrowing costs for businesses and individuals. Switching gears to China. China's economy in 2024 is facing a slowdown, with growth projected at 4.5%. The Federal Reserve's high interest rates compound this by increasing the cost of debt and reducing China's export competitiveness. As the US dollar strengthens, Chinese goods become more expensive for other countries, affecting China's exports, especially to key markets like Europe and Southeast Asia. The Chinese government has tried to stimulate domestic consumption but faces challenges. Many Chinese firms and local governments have significant dollar-denominated debt. With the Fed keeping interest rates high, the cost of servicing this debt increases, putting pressure on China's financial system. Companies with exposure to the US dollar are finding it more expensive to refinance or repay their obligations. On a global scale, the Fed's policies indirectly affect oil prices. India and China, both major oil importers, face higher costs due to a stronger dollar. Rising oil prices mean higher inflation and slower economic growth for both nations. Countries like China and India are turning towards local trade agreements and regional partnerships to minimize exposure to dollar-based transactions. They're increasingly exploring trade in local currencies to reduce reliance on the US dollar. For instance, India has been negotiating with Middle Eastern countries to pay for oil in rupees. To wrap up, the Federal Reserve's 2024 policies are not just shaping the US economy, but are also having profound effects on India and China. Currency depreciation, export challenges, and rising debt costs are among the significant impacts, but strategic policy shifts can mitigate these issues. What do you think about the Federal Reserve's impact on global markets? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more global economic analysis. If you found this analysis helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so